living off borrowed time. The clock ticks faster. How much of our present moment do we end up wasting in thoughts about the future and the past? It needs to be said, there is no past self to overcome and there is no future self to achieve. Because the past is only an instantiation of the present that's already happened, and the future is an instantiation of the present waiting to happen. All that's to say, why are we wasting our time in thoughts about stuff that already happened or stuff that hasn't happened yet, when we could be spending the limited time that we have now focusing on now? I feel like wasting time is actually an arbitrary concept, because in my opinion, I'm not like some sort of philosopher or any sort of psychologist or nothing like that, but in my opinion, right, there's no such thing as wasted time, because time is just like, it's a human construct. Nothing actually abides by time. You have the whole universe. It doesn't follow the same order of time as we do. And I want to thread it back to like a sort of ideology regarding cosmic irrelevance. I don't know if I brought this up before. I might have, to be fair. I'm sure I have. But cosmic irrelevance is something that changes your viewpoint quite substantially on life, because it can either take you down a path of nihilism, where you think nothing actually matters, or it takes you down the path of, hey, nothing matters, so let me live life to 100%, right? We're a tiny little human, right? I'll talk about me personally. I'm a human, one human, living on a little island, the UK, the UK, which is about, correct me if I'm wrong, about 80 million-ish people. So I am one person out of 80 million people on an island, and that 80 million is like a fraction of the percentage of the population in the actual world. There's 10 billion people in the world. So this 80 million isn't even 1%. 8 billion people in this world, and I'm one out of the 80 million out of the 10 billion. That's our Earth. Our Earth isn't even the biggest planet in our solar system. Zoom out. What do we have? We have our solar system. What is it? 8 planets? I don't know. I don't do physics. And we're not even the biggest planet there. Zoom out further. We have a galaxy. Our galaxy isn't even that big, right? Zoom out further. You have the clusters or whatever. Then zoom out a little bit further. You have the whole universe. Out of the whole universe, you have one. You're one in the whole universe. Now you can either take that as, yo, nothing I do actually matters. Let me just, you know what I'm saying? But then you can also look at it from a positive lens. It doesn't have to be nothing matters, so why am I trying? It can be nothing matters, so why am I trying? You know? Nothing matters, so what do I have to lose? Nothing matters, so 2 generations down the line, I'm going to be forgotten. Every mistake I made won't be remembered, because nothing matters. And that's just, you know, Alex Hormozi says, when you're on your deathbed at 80 years old, 90 years old, or whatever it was, you're not going to wish that you had fewer crazy stories to tell, right? You're going to be sitting there, you're dying. You're not going to be sitting there imagining, I shouldn't have done that because that was too fun. I shouldn't have done that because that was too risky. No, you're going to be glad that you took the risk, that you decided to expand your horizons. Matter of fact, you're going to end up with more what if I did that. Why have the what ifs? Why have the what ifs in the future? Why think about having the what ifs in the future when you can do it now in the present? And there's a lot of what ifs we have in the present as well. Like, I could have done stuff differently in the past, or I could have changed this, I should have done that, or that opportunity's passed, so it's never gonna come again. Yo, you're still here. So it doesn't matter what's gone. The past has passed. The future hasn't happened yet. You have now, right? So in preparation of making sure the future doesn't have what ifs, stop thinking about the present's what ifs. Because the present's what ifs are some things that you could have done in the past, but you didn't. And that's fine, because the past has passed and there's nothing you can do about it, right? lost my train of thought. That being said, we are living off borrowed time, and the clock does tick fast. That is MF Doom, if you didn't know. Everything we do is so limited, right? The universe is billions of years old. It was here long before us, it's gonna be here long after us. Not just my life and your life, I'm talking about the whole existence of humanity. It's been before humanity, and it's gonna stay after humanity, right? That's just the nature of it. And then that feeds back into cosmic irrelevance, you know. We don't operate on the same plane of time as the universe, and maybe like a little creature, a fly, doesn't operate at the same time length as us. But what we do have is time. We still have our lives. And I think it's more about being satisfied in the present than building yourself up to anything greater in the future. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, how much time do we actually waste in waiting for life to happen? Like, we need to stop waiting for life to happen. We wait for our life to be shown to us, but more time we need to show ourselves to life. You know, we keep ourselves so enclosed in this construct of thought. Thought is actually meaningless. You try to think of life. You spend so much time thinking of this, that, and the other. Do less thinking, do more doing. If you can't imagine the life, you have to be it, you know, because imagining doesn't take you anywhere. You are what you imagine, right? And you can imagine anything, but imagining doesn't take you anywhere. It's acting on the imagination that you've presented yourself. Like, I want to keep it centralized to time, because obviously my mind goes onto tangents about certain, like, completely random things, even though I start from one little concept of time, right? Threading it back, we have to have present awareness, because when we lack present awareness, we get too caught up in what could have been, or what should have been, or what can be. And like, I want to say again, there is no past self to overcome. There's no there's no future self to achieve. There's only the present. There is only the present. And I think you need to love yourself enough to let go. Not let go of your own identity in that sense, but let go of your obsessions and your attachments with the concept of time. Because time really means nothing. I'm going to bring it in to myself a little bit. I have my driving test in less than 2 days, and you know, it's a big thing for me, obviously. And I found myself over the last maybe week, I want to say, lacking presence in the things that I do, and the things that I say, and the things that I want to achieve, because I'm so hyper fixated on this one thing in the future that hasn't happened yet. And okay, while it is one thing to be prepared and all, the preparations don't take all too long. Like the last 4 or 5 days, I've been driving every day for like 2-3 hours every day, either in my own car with my mum or with my instructor. And like, cool, that's 2-3 hours, fine, I can sacrifice a little bit here and there. But what ended up happening is that my whole schedule just got so diluted, it got watered down. And in the sense where 2 weeks ago today, I was really productive. I was going to the gym, I was doing this, that, and the other, and I was doing my studying, my revision, I was topped up on my history notes, my economics notes, I was hella fixated in my English literature reading. Now, in that sense, I'm behind because I haven't been doing the work. I mean, I'm putting myself in a facade of productivity. And obviously, we aren't defined by our productivity, because only a slave defines himself by his productivity, right? We're not slaves. We can be, right? We treat ourselves as slaves, but we don't want to be a slave to our own emotion. We don't want to be a slave to our own productivity. We want to be master of our own emotion. But I feel I've wasted a lot of time, so I want to get on here and try to sort of help people achieve something that I couldn't achieve for myself in the last 3 days. So as if I say it to other people, and not do it myself, it makes me a hypocrite. So that forces me to do it as well. That being said, I'm so caught up in this emotion of stress, of fear, of what's going to go wrong, or what's going to happen in 2 days from now. But the only thing I can do is prepare, right? The only thing I can do is prepare. So why am I so hyper fixated on this future emotion that I can't achieve? And then I'm thinking about what's going to happen after I get past my license, right? Or what happens if I fail? When it comes to it, we're going to see when it comes to it. Because right now I haven't passed, and right now I haven't failed. So it doesn't matter. And by the time this video is up, hopefully I've passed, right? Because that's going to be Tuesday. My test is on Tuesday. Hopefully I've passed. If I haven't, so what? It doesn't matter. I'm not running out of time. I'm not going anywhere, right? That being said, you want to ground yourself in the present moment, right? Don't get caught up in the past. Don't get caught up in the present. I mean, the future, sorry. Obviously get caught up in the present. All this talk about past, future, and present, it gets me confused sometimes as well. We get caught up in the emotion so much. Like me, myself, I got caught up in the emotion. When you're caught up in emotion, let's say, right, the past, right? We think about the past. Your girl broke up with you, or your boyfriend broke up with you. Either way, don't matter, right? Your girl broke up with you. You're feeling, I don't know, confused. You're feeling angry. Maybe she cheated on you. You feel angry, right? You're gonna carry over that anger into the present, and then everything you do is done with anger. And I don't want to say your time has been wasted, right? Because it is a learning experience, but you're gonna feel like your time has been wasted with that whole thing that you just had, that you lost because she cheated on you, or he cheated on you, whatever. You're gonna feel as if your time was wasted. It wasn't wasted. You got a learning experience. The real wastage of time happens when you hyperfixate yourself on this emotion for so long. The longer that you stay in that withdrawal of your mental clarity is the longer that you stray away from the person that you want to achieve. You want to achieve a higher level of yourself, and the longer that you spend hyperfixated on this anger, on this fear, on this sadness, on this envy, is longer time that you spend away from like advancing yourself. And it's not to say we're always on the constant journey of trying to be better because I'm not good enough right now. No. Recognize who you are right now is perfect. But with time, you evolve to become even more perfect, right? Time, again, is a human construct, so don't define yourself by it. And because if you accept right now that you're beautiful and that you're loved, it doesn't matter about time, what happens in the future or what happens in the past, because you have the present moment and you'll feel content. Like, it's a bit macabre, but I think I'm content enough with my life right now where if I drop dead tomorrow, I will have zero regrets because I've done everything I wanted to do, right? And I'm still working on what I'm trying to get done in the future as well. So if I drop dead tomorrow, I'm not gonna feel sad that, oh, I wanted to get that done, I want to get this done, because I do have things I want to get done. And, you know, God willing, if I don't die tomorrow, I will get those things done. I have that faith in me and I have that time. But if not, I was happy enough in the present, I was content enough in the present moment to not have myself attached to these feelings of the past, or these feelings of the future, of something that I want to achieve, or something that I haven't achieved, or something that I couldn't overcome quite clearly. You know, don't get caught up in this emotion, because when you're like so clouded by emotion, this anger that you hold on to, it's sort of like walking through a museum and not appreciating any of the art because you're too hyper fixated on the emotion of anger you're feeling. If you walk angry through a museum, you can't appreciate the beauty of the art. And again, I want to reiterate, beauty never left the moment. We did. So in our instantiations of the past and the future, we lose the present. You know, it's I remember I did a little voice note of this about a month and a half ago to myself, where I started this whole idea, and I told myself effectively, the present is like a river flowing, and the past is on the left side, little bank, and the future is on the right side. We oftentimes build a bridge skipping over the present into the future from the past, and we lose that flow. You're forgetting that that river is the flow of life. The river is the thing that harbors life. You cannot survive without the river. The river is your flowing life. It's symbolic of the flowing of your life. You know, that water gives you life. It gives life to others. It gives life to everything around you. That past riverbed wouldn't exist, and the future riverbed wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the present. It would just be like a shady little patch of dirt. There would be no grass because there'd be no water. There would be no riverbed if there wasn't any river. And for that reason, we need to understand that you can't build a bridge over it, because there would be no bridge if it wasn't for the present. We need to understand that we are flowing with the present. So don't get caught on the sides. Walk along the river. I think that was a bit of a ramble, to be honest, because even the first time I said that to myself, it was a bit of a ramble. But that being said, is there anything else I want to say? Appreciate the present. You don't want to be in a moment where you haven't appreciated what you have currently, and it's all slipped away. And then, you know what it is? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. When we lose something, then we realize its value. Don't be the type of person that only realizes the value of something when it's gone. Realize the value right now and appreciate it while you have it, because when it's gone, it's too late and there's nothing left to appreciate. When it's gone, you have to accept that it's gone, because if you're appreciating something once it's gone, that's not appreciation, that's mourning. Mourning's alright, but don't do it too much. Appreciate what you have right now, so that when it's gone in the future, you don't feel the regret that you haven't taken, that you took. You don't feel the regret of having taken something for granted, because you never took it for granted, because you always appreciate it. I found myself talking a lot more in these videos. They were getting a little bit longer. First one started at 12 minutes, this one's pushing 18 minutes. That being said, be more present. Time is a social construct. Keep being you, keep being great. You know, no one can take away from you except yourself. So stop living in a world of your own emotion and start living in the world, period. Thank you. I love you all. This upload was a bit of a push for me, because I still am terribly stressed out about my driving test. Hopefully all goes well. If it doesn't, then, you know, it is what it is. Nothing can change. The world doesn't become any less beautiful just because I cannot drive. Even passing comes with its own headaches, like insurance. But we're here. Enjoy it. Love it. Love every moment. That's it. That's it. I love you guys. I've seen a lot of great positive things. Last video, I don't want to say blew up, got like 120 views or some shit. I'm really happy to see that. You know, I wanna know that I've been able to impact people, help them along their journey, whilst also improving my own. I love to see it. I want to see it more. Not to be greedy, but love all you guys. Take care. You're great. You're amazing. We're all amazing. And I don't want to make this too long, because then guys don't want to watch it. It's a psychological thing. Love you all. Peace.